You know who it is. Today, checking out Sorcerer EndBringer. One of me and my main man Daniel's favorites. Actually, one of Daniel's favorites for sure. I love it too. Sorcerer EndBringer. I think this one came out like a month ago. So, pretty new stuff. Designed by Peter Schultz with Rob Darty and Darwin Castle. We played some of the new stuff. Of course, that'll be the next video. And this one has a solo campaign thing to it. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, this game expansion allows 1 to 3 players to team up in battle against a crazed demigod known as an Endbringer. The Sorcerer base game is required to play. Looks like the Hero Realm solo stuff. The story. The Endbringers are ancient demigods who unleashed unspeakable horrors and destruction upon our world and were consequently banished by the Elder Gods. A deranged and power-hungry cult has constructed powerful monoliths, allowing an Endbringer to return to our world. You must break through the Endbringer's army and destroy the monolith in order to banish the demigod once again. You'll create the Endbringer by combining one of 4 nemesis, who they are, one of 4 archetypes, which army they lead, okay, and optionally one of 4 scenarios, what they're doing. Okay, so kind of like the regular game, you put down, you add different crap to form a deck. For example, you may battle Erlik Khan, the Death Dealer, who is leading the invasion. There are 64 different combinations you can battle against, each providing unique challenges for you and your friends to overcome. Contents include 12 oversized cards, 260 standard cards, a help dial, 4 oversized standees, 77 other punch-outs, and a rulebook. Learn more at sorcerergame.com. Sorcerer EndBringer 2022 Wise Wizard Games, even though it came out 2024. But yeah, 1 to 3 players, 90 minutes plus, ages 14 plus. Let's dig in. Okay. Nemesis, archetypes, and scenario / other monoliths. Got some hexes with some numbers around them, different tokens. Yeah, because I know I played with some kind of plant stuff. Okay, we got ongoing. At the end of battle, take damage equal to the number of enemy cultist cards and all boon counters on them. Ongoing, enemy minions get +2 attack. Whenever an allied minion enters play, deal 1 damage to it. If it's a legend, deal 2 damage instead. All type of stuff. The big standees. Nice scary stuff. Kind of like the Magic Hex games. Alright, that's an Eldritch being right there, if I've ever seen one. Eldrazi. Okay. Pre-constructed health dial. Nothing else. Stacks of cards. I think you gotta. I think they'll still try to charge you like for like a separate big box to contain everything in, because I don't think this will contain the base and this box of stuff. Good cultist in the woods. Is preparing a dark ritual ongoing when the number of minions on the sacrificed altar is equal to or greater than 8 times the number of players. Players lose the game. Round 1, prepare the ritual. Put the top card of the archetype deck face up onto the sacrificial altar. Then destroy each 9 token enemy minion. Put all of those minions face up into the sacrificial altar and spawn a new minion for each minion destroyed. This way, their when played effects do not trigger. Round 4, players lose the game. Okay, it's preparing a dark ritual. Is that the same thing? Yeah, same thing, front and back. Is leading the invasion. Is awakening the scions. Is arming the horde. And these ones look like the Hero Realms stuff. Solo. The Plaguebringer. Tactic spawn a Plague Rest token. Tactic spawn a Pestilent Swarm token. Tactic take direct damage equal to the number of enemy Pestilent Swarm tokens. And then I think this cross swords son means that you gotta have your standee at that same battlefield to pop off that tactic, I think. Flip a Pestilent Swarm token, player's choice if there are any in that battlefield. Whenever a Pestilent Swarm token is spawned, attach it to the allied minion with the highest attack value in that battlefield. Pick one side. The Hellraiser and the Demiurge, the Death Dealer. I like that art. The Zekkenbach, Hypnos. Ongoing, whenever you banish a card, put it face up on top of its owner's void. Whenever you reclaim a card, pick any card in the void and shuffle it into your grimoire. Ongoing, at the start of each round, after the first, each player banishes the top 3 cards of their grimoire deck. Erlich Khan, I think this might be the first guy you play with. And Erish Kagal. Can really appreciate this art. Daniel loves it. Right, 3 different stacks. We'll probably look at one stack. But first, look through the rules. Table of contents. Nemesis decks. 1 oversized card, 3 monolith cards, 24 Nemesis deck cards. 1 oversized card, 3 25. 1 324, 1 324, 23 tentacle counters, 17 shadow fiend counters, 7 rage counters, 7 gate tiles, 23 boom counters, 17 dream counters, Demiurge archetype decks, Death Dealer, Demiurge, Hellraiser, Plaguebringer, Red Butterfly, Skeleton, Knight. Alright, prologue. In times long forgotten, the old gods spawned their first descendants, the Prometheans. Though demigods, they were little more than servants tasked with creating the mortal realm. The old gods took credit for all their offspring created, and they were worshipped by mankind. But the Prometheans hungered for worshippers of their own. The Prometheans revealed themselves to humanity and demanded tribute. They craved the rituals of pain and sacrifice that men performed in hopes of gaining their favor. While the old gods could control their appetites, the Prometheans proved to be insatiable. Soon the human suffering induced by rituals was not enough. In their fervor to feed their bloodlust, they unleashed unspeakable terrors on mankind. Rather than see the mortal realm destroyed, the old gods banished the Prometheans, scattering them into the limbos across multiple dimensions. Worship of the Prometheans was forbidden, but secret cults persisted throughout the ages. Over centuries, though, through countless rituals, one cult has located their lord. With forbidden magics, they have constructed great monoliths capable of tethering a Promethean to the mortal realm. Now they rejoice, embracing the coming of the EndBringer. Overview. 1 of 3 players will team up to battle against a dreadful demigod called the EndBringer. You will create the this adversary by combining a nemesis, who they are, with an archetype, which army they lead, and optionally a scenario, what they're doing. For example, you may battle Erlich Khan, the Death Dealer, who is leading the invasion. Okay. Each round, the Endbringer will summon minions from their archetype deck and take actions from their nemesis deck. To win, players must destroy all the monoliths that allow the Endbringer to exist in this dimension. The players lose if their combined defense is reduced to 0. In Nemesis deck contains 2 card types, actions and conditions. Each action and condition has 2 abilities and a color indicator. You'll use one of these elements at a time, as follows. Effect: whenever the Endbringer takes an action, see action phase on page 12. They play the top card of the Nemesis deck. If the effect has double cross swords, it happens across both battlefields that the Endbringer avatar is in. Treat them as one battlefield. Tag that up. Endbringer takes an action. Play the top card of the Nemesis deck. If it's an action card, do what is listed in the effect area, then put the card into the Nemesis discard pile. The player whose turn it is, who took an action, makes any decisions required by the action. It might affect the player, discard 2 cards, or let them pick who is affected. An allied player discards 2 cards. Okay. If it's a condition card, place it next to the oversized Nemesis card. It stays in play and its effect is ongoing. Whenever an allied minion attacks as a tactic, its player may pay omens equal to the condition's destruction cost. Okay, pay your omens for that. Pay omens to the destruction cost to destroy this condition, putting it into the Nemesis discard pile and ending its effect. Tactic icon: whenever an archetype tactic triggers, see enemy minion attack on page 13. Reveal the top card of the Nemesis deck. The tactic icon indicates which archetype tactic is used, then put the card into the Nemesis discard pile. Critical: whenever you resolve a critical hit on a monolith. Page 13, reveal the top card of the Nemesis deck. Do what the listed critical area, and then put the card into the Nemesis discard pile. The Nemesis deck has its own face-up discard pile whenever cards are needed from the Nemesis deck, but there are not enough available. Shuffle it and make it into a new deck. Archetype deck: whenever the Endbringer spawns a minion, put the top card of the archetype deck into play. The archetype deck has its own face-up discard pile whenever cards are needed from the archetype deck. Okay, so there's 2 discard piles. Nemesis discard pile. Archetype discard pile. Horde victory: if the Endbringer would spawn a minion, but there are no cards left in the archetype deck in the archetype discard pile, players lose the game. Players lose the game. New game terms: allied player, any player, allied defense, allied minion, Endbringer. The enemy minions spawn archetype tactic, taking damage. Endbringer rules: Endbringer avatar, no battlefield damage, maximum minions, unless effects. Endbringer counts as a player. Endbringer discard. Gaining Endbringer effects: the animist, discarded and attached types: blue sorcery, green attachment, red or white minion. General rules: battle effects at the start of the battle phase, tactic at the start of battle, tactic at the end of battle, at the end of battle phase, attack bonuses and penalties, token cards, cross sword icon, An effect preceded by the crossword happens only if it's in that battlefield. If the effect is not on a battlefield, such as skill cards with the crosswords, it happens in the battlefield. In the battlefield, the avatar is in. For example, a minion with the ability crosswords, when played, deal 1 damage to each other minion. Will only damage minions in the same battlefield as it. And another example, blase blah. Example setup. Set up the battlefields. Choose your nemesis. Choose the archetype. Choose the scenario. Place the monolith. If you're playing beginner or normal difficulty, shuffle the 9 black stone shard monolith. Takes down. If you're playing veteran difficulty or above, shuffle the 9 monolith cards you have set aside in the previous steps. Okay, player setup, gameplay, spawn, and phase spawning minions. Ready phase, action phase, battle phase, allied minion, enemy minion attack, critical hits on monoliths, no monoliths on the battlefield, end of round phase, winning and losing. When the last monolith is destroyed, the players immediately win the game. If the player's defense is reduced to 0, they quickly lose the game. Some oversized cards list other ways players can win or lose the game. And adjusting difficulty, beginner. For your first game, we recommend playing without a scenario. Use the Blackstone Shard monolith. At the start of every round, including the first, each player in the game puts a damage counter on the Nemesis deck. A normal, veteran, hard, different monoliths. Okay, Nemesis, Early Khan, low complexity. Zerkenbach, middle. Tentacle counters, Shadow Fiend counters. High complexity, Cultist cards, Boon counters. Hypnos, Rift cards. All kind of stuff. All kind of stuff for sure. Dream counters, Trauma cards, the Death Dealer, Hellraiser, the Demiurge, the Plaguebringer. Scenarios. Man, and you know what? I didn't even see the stuff that I played with, nor the stuff Daniel played with. Interesting. All right, anyway, yeah, let's pick a stack of these cards to go through. It's 0 to 6, 1, 0 to 7, 8 to 14, 15 to 20. Got an M20, and that'll be the last one. Weaken an allied minion and exhaust an allied minion. You may pick the same minion for both. Arcsaw Footfall sends ripples through reality like pebbles on a pond. Choose 1, gain 2 omens, or heal 1 damage from each allied minion. There's different card backs, so I can't recall if this is an old card back or not. Cultist, when played, advance the gate. Follower, so I think this is like an enemy minion. Nice Cultist. A bunch of Cultists, when played, advance the gate. Fried from Despair. Imminent Extinction, choose 1, gain 2 energy, or heal up to 4 damage total among allied minions. Okay, yeah, this one really the stack to look at. We're at 19 minutes. We'll look at another one. this one. Really love that skeleton head. Menacing Dead, ongoing. This minion gets +1 attack for each other enemy Wraith minion. This one is a 2 attack, 2 health, 2 drop. That faction. Riding Follower, 1 drop, 3/1. Bunch of those. Evolver reference. Devolve. If a minion would gain a duplicate evolve counter, instead return both evolve counters to the evolve counter pool. Don't replace them. Claws. Tactic. This minion gets +2 attack. Cunning. Resolve and additional archetype tactic. Fangs. Tactic. Deal 1 damage to an allied minion and heal 1 damage from this minion. Tail. Ongoing whenever an allied minion attacks. Weaken it. Tentacles. Tactic. An allied player with 1 or more cards in their hand randomly discards a card. Wings. Ongoing. This minion deals direct damage. Whenever an evolve counter is gained during an attack, its tactic triggers immediately. Same on the back. Faceless Ambusher, 3 drop, 4/4. Butterfly faction. Gotta love the art in this game, boy. Faceless Horror. 1 drop, 2/2. Bunch of those. Faceless Reject. 2/3/3. Rebirth. 6 drop, 5/5. Ongoing. At the end of each round, evolve each enemy minion, including this one. Soulless one. 4/5/5. Essence Harvester, 3/2/5. When played, heal 1 damage from each allied minion. For each damage healed this way, put an omen on this minion. Fireborn Champion, 2/1/4. When played, put 3 omens on this minion. Ongoing. The other enemy minions get +1 attack. 2/1/4 with a 9/7/2. Hellflame Warden, 3/2/5. When played, put 2 omens on this minion. Ongoing. Resolve omens gaining any effects on this minion without flipping them. Inferno Tyrant, 3/2/5. Ongoing. At the start of the battle, put 2 omens on this minion. Bunch of those. Lords of Slaughter, 5/5/5. When played, put 1 omen on this minion. Ongoing. At the end of each round, flip 1 damage counter on each enemy minion, including this one. Rampaging Piercer, The Butcher, War, Blight Shaman, and Brood Mother, 5/2/3. When played, tactic. When played, spawn 3 Pestilent Swarm tokens. Ongoing, this minion gets +1 attack for each other enemy rat minion. Good stuff. Right, and you know, tomorrow, watch out for that gameplay. There goes that annoying dog. All your games, like, comment, subscribe.